If you took away my team, my budget, and all my hundreds of thousands of followers and gave me just 30 days to go viral from scratch, here's the exact 4-week framework I'd follow to get my first million views and monetize that attention. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Chris Cunningham, one of the original 4 who started ClickUp, and my team generated over 2 billion impressions just last year and a ton of revenue for ClickUp with this content strategy. However, for this framework to work, you first need to delete every bit of shame out of your body. And sadly, I learned that the hard way. A few years ago, Zeb, our CEO, and I got invited to speak at a major developer conference in San Francisco. Massive stage, big audience, we were pumped. We had this video that had gone viral on social media with me rapping about productivity, and we wanted to do the same thing on stage. We thought it'd be great. However, when I finished presenting it, no one made a single noise. It was dead silence. And to make matters worse, Zeb slowly backed away off the stage and left me up there to finish the presentation. Just imagine that feeling for a second, being stuck on stage, no one liked this project you built. It was by far one of the most embarrassing moments of my career. And it was also the most important lesson I ever learned about going viral. The people who go viral consistently are not more talented than you. They're not luckier than you. They are willing to look stupid in public more often until something works. The biggest problem with content is that most people treat it like it's a performance review. They spend 2 weeks crafting one video, post it, get 300 views, quit. They're done. The shift I need you to make right now for the next 30 days is think it like this. You're a scientist. You're running experiments, with the only difference that these experiments have your face in them. Embrace the cringe. It's the only way to survive. So once you've locked that in, now the tactics matter. So the first week, it's all about finding your signal. You and I could talk for days about different ideas. No one actually knows what works until you go get data. Your main goal in the first 7 days is to find one idea that makes a stranger stop scrolling. One idea that gets you out of that 300 view jail. Literally, just one idea that creates any kind of reaction in someone who has never heard of you. Here's how you do it. Step 1, go find the exact words your audience uses to describe their pain. You can use AI, you can scroll Reddit, you can go to the comments section of the biggest creators in your space, anything like this. Now I want you to find the sentences where people write they're frustrated, stuck, confused, or what they think about the space, or what they're afraid of, or what trends they're seeing. The fastest way to make a stranger feel like you're reading their mind is to say back to them exactly what they're already thinking. When we're building ClickUp's content, we need to start with, oh, here's project management. Here's why it matters. What we started with was, why does every project management tool feel like it was designed to make your life harder? Because that's what people were actually saying. And then on the other side, we want to make people laugh. So we look at actual things that are happening in the business world. When I make these funny videos, I'm contacting actual people and I'm saying, hey, you're in marketing. What's something frustrating happens to you? You're in dev. What's something frustrating happens to you? And then I mirror that response and the pain or the struggle they're feeling. And that immediately works every single time. Step 2, you need to post at least once per day. Honestly, 2 or 3 if you really want to win faster. And I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of content. And yeah, it is. But here's the thing. In 1 week, you're trying to collect data, and every video is a test. So at the beginning, sure, you can slow that down, but right now you need all the data you can get. That's why you're a scientist. That's how you're going to win. You need the volume to find a winner. And here's the rule. You're only allowed to shoot on your phone. No studio, no editor, no lighting kit. I mean it. Because at the beginning, you just want to shoot on your phone. We first shot our viral videos on the iPhones at the ClickUp office. Today, we still shoot most of them on the iPhone. The reason I want you on your iPhone to start is 1, for the testing and the speed, but 2, authenticity signals people. High production signals brand, right? So in the early stages, you want to connect with a person. Now, step 3, ignore the view count. Watch the behavior. A video with 200 views and 40 comments is worth way more than a video with 2,000 views and no comments, especially shares as well. Comments mean someone felt strongly enough to type. And then saves mean they really liked and felt value in it. And shares, even a better thing. They thought of someone and they hit send. That is the idea you build on, and that is the signals you look for. By the end of week 1, you should have 1 or 2 videos that really stood out. That is your golden nugget. Something that got more comments, something that got more shares. That's what you're looking for. Now let's jump into week 2. You need to build the machine. You want the majority of people to keep enjoying your content. So once you found that big idea or something cool, you need to double down on it. This is the single biggest mistake in content. Think of the San Francisco gold rush back in the day. Back then, you find one area of gold and you would just mine that area until you got every piece out of it. And you should still do that. When you have a big video that hits, you should get all the gold you can. But make sure you're still looking for other spots, because eventually you will run out. Now you're running this, run the rule of 3. Take your best performing videos from week 1 and make 3 variations of it. Keep the same core message, but test a different angle and a different hook and a different story. When you're posting, you should always be testing different versions. You should always be testing everything, even if you found a new format or just got lucky once. Let's say your winning video is why every project management tool sucks. Your 3 new videos are the why video, the real reason every project management tool makes your life harder, and it's not the software. Let's say you had a big winner like me, the dancing HR guys, right? So what am I gonna do next? I can make the same video again. I can make a part 2. That's great. Here's something you can also do. Now I can go, the marketing guys, the development guys, right? I can go into different parts, I can go into different hooks, but you need to always be making different videos. If you want more product videos, you can go into how to set up. You can do versus, right? So ClickUp versus competitor, or the mistake video. I really like this one. So make sure you're making product content and funny content. But the mistake video is the number one mistake teams make when choosing a project management tool that guarantees they'll switch again in 6 months, right? That hits. No one wants that problem. They see it. They want to watch so they don't have that problem. If all three variations outperform your average, then now you found a format. So let's say it's the how-to. If the how-to works well, then you know you need to double down. Then you have a repeatable system. It's very easy. Or if it's the competitors, even easier. You can make those videos all day long and multiple versions of them. So now, after your testing, you know what to go deeper on. Second move, find a trending audio or format on TikTok or Reels. Something that's already getting millions of views. Now, apply your winning message to that format. This is what we call the best of the rest content. You're borrowing an audience that already exists and redirecting their attention towards your idea. And the third move, this is where you really got to win, plant your flag. By the end of week 2, you need to be able to say in one sentence, I help specific person with specific problem. The more specific, the better. I help B2B founders get their first 10,000 followers is 10 times more powerful than I help people with social media. People are going to scroll right past that. The right people feel like you're speaking directly to them, and that's why they stay. So once you have that sentence, put it in your bio. Say it at the start of your videos. Literally mention it everywhere you can and drive that home. Because once that's done, now you're ready to move on to week 3. And if you thought that was the hardest part, I'm sorry. We're just getting started. Content's not easy, but damn if it's not worth it. Week 3, become the resource. There's a framework we use at ClickUp for every piece of content we make. We ask ourselves 3 questions. Every video, every post, every skit. It has to answer yes to at least one of them. The questions are, does it add value? Does it teach them something? And does it make them feel something? Does it entertain? If it doesn't do at least one of these 3 things, it's not going out. I'm not wasting my audience's time. The third week is about going so deep on value that people have no choice but to follow you. They have no choice but to watch your videos to the end. Not because you asked them to, but because they genuinely can't afford not to. And to do that, you need to create your main content piece. Take the topic that's been working and go deeper. Create a 10 to 15 minute video on YouTube that is the single best free resource on that subject that anyone can get, better than anything that exists. The structure is simple. Start with the hook and the core pain. Then dive into about 5 minutes on the common mistakes everyone makes. They'll resonate. Then spend 5 minutes on the actual solutions. Now they know what the problem is, they know how to fix it. And then lastly, just summarize, bring it home to their new reality, what life feels like when they fix this. This will build authority that short form content cannot. And it gives you a piece of content that you can reference and repurpose for months. Then you want to apply the 65-35 rule. 65% of your content should be pure value, education, entertainment, inspiration, any of that. Something people love, something they open their phone for. The other 35%, that can be about your product, your service, your offer. But if you can find a way to combine the two, then you've really won. So if you flip the ratio and just talk about your product like every other brand, people are going to stop watching. I know this because we made this mistake at ClickUp. All the pressure I received was, hey, talk about our product, do more product-focused videos. They barely got any views, while our comedy videos were getting millions of views. The market was telling us something, and we listened. Give more than you take. That's the whole strategy. That's what content's about. The third move is the most important because it humanizes you. This is where you tell your failures. This is where you show behind the scenes. This is where you chase a goal. This is where you build in public. Share a story that makes you look human. Because at the end of the day, we all want to work with more humans. I'll give you an example. Before ClickUp, Zeb and I built a social media app. It's called Memory. The premise was very simple. Snapchat deletes your memories, erases them in 7 seconds. We save them. We connect you. Then one day we woke up. Snapchat launched Snapchat Memories. Our entire product, our entire mission got built by $1 billion company overnight. We lost. We lost everything. And that story has done more for my credibility than any polished marketing campaign I've ever run because people trust people who have struggled. People trust people who have failed because we all struggle. We all fail, but we all come back on top as well. So when you can share that story, instead of just being a brand, people can start to relate to you. So by the end of week 3, you should have an audience that genuinely trusts you. And that trust is the only thing that makes week 4 work. Week 4, profit. Views are great, but views don't pay the bills. Week 4 is about converting the attention and the trust that you've built into money. And the way you do that is key. Because if you cash in on your trust coins, the only way you'll go wrong is to lose the trust you fought so hard to build. You can't do that. The first move is to create a lead magnet. You've been giving away value for a long time, right? In 60 seconds chunks, even in a 15-minute video. Now you put your best ideas into a single high-value asset. A PDF checklist, 5-day email course, a template. The point is, it needs to be so good, You would charge for it, but you're going to give it away free in exchange for email addresses. The second move is to interact with everyone that showed interest in your lead magnet. Everyone. Immediately after someone requests a lead magnet, send them a message immediately with the lead magnet attached and interact with them. Ask them a question. Hey, here's a lead magnet. What are you struggling in? Where can I help you? Any question that's directly related to their pain will help them open up with you. And that's what you really want. Do this for every person and you'll build a massive list of potential clients. And the third move is close them. Once someone replies and tells you their problem, you have one goal: be the most helpful person they've ever spoken to about it. Most people jump in with a hard pitch right away. Don't do that. Don't do any of that. Listen to what they say. Pre-qualify them. Make sure they can pay you for what you offer, and then offer to help them to solve it. It's that simple. And the line is even more simple. That sounds like a tough problem. I've helped a lot of companies do this. I have the proof. You have 15 minutes this week to jump on a call. I'm happy to walk you through exactly how I would solve this. And look, you're not selling a product. You're selling a solution to a problem they told you they have. You do this for every person who opens up, and you won't just have a list full of potential clients. You'll have a calendar full of qualified sales calls. That's how you win. Now, this entire framework is not that complicated. It's not really something that anyone's sharing. And yet most people don't go viral because they're not willing to do it consistently at volume without immediate results. But I can promise you, after doing this for ClickUp and dozens of other companies I've helped start from zero, I can tell you with complete confidence the system works. But you have to trust it long enough to let it shine. Now, I put together the breakdown for this content framework. It's in the description, and you can grab it completely free. And if you want to apply this to see how we grew ClickUp from 0 to 1 billion impressions, that video is right here.